Kamsa exhibited his familial affection for Devaki and Vasudeva by immediately releasing them from the iron shackles. Hare Krishna.
Okay. You see, this is compassionate mode of a devotee, right? So when someone almost like surrenders, oh, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, immediately the compassion comes. Now, what is the state of Devaki? Kamsa killed all her children. All her children. Imagine the anger and the wrath of the mother. Even though there is so much of anger about her own brother killing all the 8 children, she shown compassion. Okay? That's the greatness of a devotee. Okay, so let's look at 4.25. Let's read quickly.
Hare Krishna. Text 4.25. Bhratru samanu taptasya kangshatarosha cha devaki.
Okay, silent. K silent. Sorry, yes silent. So Kshanta.
Okay. Kshantarosha cha devaki vyasrujad vasudevascha cha prasahyatam uvachaha. Translation: when Devaki saw her brother actually repentant while explaining obedient events, she was relieved of all anger. Similarly, Vasudeva was also free from anger. Smiling, he spoke to Kamsa as follows: Purport. Devaki and Vasudeva, both highly elevated personalities, accepted the truth presented by Kamsa that everything is ordained by providence according to the prophecy. Kamsa would be killed by the eighth child of Devaki. Therefore, Vasudeva and Devaki saw that behind all these incidents was a great plan devised by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Lord had already taken birth just like a human child and was in the safe custody of Yashoda. Everything was happening according to plan, and there was no need to continue their ill feeling towards Kamsa. Thus they accepted Kamsa's words. Hare Krishna.
Kamsa's words. See, the real quality of a devotee. There's no enviness. There's no revenge mode. That I will do something like this to you. Nothing. Okay, 4.26.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. 4.20, text 4.26. Evam etan mahabhaga yatha vadasi dehinam agnana prabhavaham dhi swapareti bhidayataha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O great personality Kamsa, only by the influence of ignorance does one accept the material body and bodily ego. What you have said about this philosophy is correct. Persons in the bodily concept of life, lacking self-realization, differentiate in terms of this is mine and this belongs to another. Purport: everything is done automatically by the laws of nature, which work under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no question of doing anything independently, for one who has put himself in this material atmosphere is fully under the control of nature's laws. Our main business, therefore, should be to get out of this conditioned life and again become situated in spiritual existence. Only due to ignorance does a person think, I am a demigod, I am a human being, I am a dog, I am a cat, or when the ignorance is still further advanced, I am God. Unless one is fully self-realized, one's life of ignorance will continue. Hare Krishna.
just a second. You just do the discussion. I'll be back in a minute. You just discuss this, Mataji. I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
Prabhu.
Mataji, tell your realizations, Mataji.
Mataji. Mataji, anyone of you can tell realizations, Mataji. I have not much.
Whatever you know, tell me.
So, Prabhu, the bodily concept of life and our false ego, all are because of the mode of ignorance in a person. And so the person who is in this state of mind, like this is mine, this belongs to me, or the sense of proprietorship. So this is all in the mode of ignorance. One has to transcend this mode and come to the level of goodness and pure goodness, or Shuddha Sattvic, to go back home, back to Godhead. That's what I understand, Prabhu.
Okay. So the key goal is not about the small positions and gains. Oh, he told me like this, he spoke at me like this, he misbehaved with me, he shamed me, he made loss to me. That's not our goal, right? Our goal is clearly, one is to leave this material atmosphere, and second is to serve the Lord. With whatever capacity and whatever love we want to serve the Lord. That's it. So in the process of achieving this goal, I'm sure there are enough disturbances for us, right? Either in our office, job, family, and things like that. Those disturbances should never take us away from this path. So the end goal must be very strong in our heart. See, a dog, when it sees the sun rise out of the horizon, it keeps barking at it for some time. And then finally it gets tired and then leaves it. Now, look at this point. How much ever the dog barks, the sun continues to do its job. So the person who's losing is the dog and not the sun. So similarly, people misbehave out of ignorance. People, have irrational thinking out of their ignorance. So that should not bother us. We should have only this goal. Perform my sadhana. This one. Anyway, I don't have any say in this material world. It is the Trigunya that is working in this material world to perform activities. Why should I be bothered so much? That should be the evolution of the consciousness. So, if you understand this one finer point, then you'll see we stand out in the way, we behave, the way we think, the way we prioritize our life. And that's the key. Anyone has anything to say? Now, just a few minutes back, I sent about Kadambakanu Maharaj's exit, or about to exit, right? So let's talk about Kadambakanu Maharaj a little bit. A great devotee. He is mostly serving in the Russian and the Eastern European region. So that's the area that he's focusing. In fact, every year Kirtan Mela, he's one of the forefront singers at Mayapur. A phenomenal devotee of the Lord, another great representative of Srila Prabhupada. He was diagnosed with cancer a few months back. Now he had two choices. Choices are, okay, go to hospitals and go for treatment, spend money, spend his effort, treat. That's one choice he had. Just a second. Hello? Yeah? ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ. ನಾನೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಒಂದು 7:30 ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಮ್ಮ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಕೊಡಿ. ಹಾಂ, ಸರಿ, ಕೊಡಿ. Okay. So here that is one choice. So the second choice Kadambakar Maharaj had was, I will go God conscious. Whatever unfulfilled mission and seva Prabhupada has given him, I will do that. I will travel around and purify myself. And look at this picture. The last days, he's starting to fast. Just taking water, that's it. And he's preparing himself to leave the body. Can you believe this consciousness? 9590, Ma. Thank you. Can you believe this consciousness? So, once someone is intelligent, they know exactly what to do. They know exactly how to handle the life. They don't want to make the mistake of again giving another chance. See, once we were in Russia, at the time Guru Maharaj came. So Guru Maharaj came, and there were a lot of dance and kirtan that was going on the stage. Okay, it's a very small stage, a closed setup. So it was very nice. And then Guru Maharaj came and he started to speak. He spoke a lot of great things about Gauranga Nityananda. Then Guru Maharaj told that, see, whatever you do, whatever activities you perform, remember that one goal of going home back to Godhead. Now, for some reason, if one of you think, okay, anyway, looks like Lord has put me in a comfortable life. Lord has relieved me of my miseries. I am doing okay. This world still seems to have some pleasure. Maybe I will extract some more juice out of this. Maybe I will take it easy, take it light, and I'll practice. Then what happens, because of your practice and such a, what do you say, a distorted consciousness. Guru Maharaj told that you may get elevated to higher planets. Sargaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, somewhere you may get elevated. Why? Because you're performing your devotion service. But the consciousness is a little bit distorted. Okay, so now what happened? When you get elevated to higher planets, a simple calculation is, in Svargaloka, 1 day here is 1 year there. Sorry, 1 year here is 1 day there in Svargaloka. Okay. There also you may live for maximum 100 years, but in that celestial 100 years you live. So then Guru Maharaj told, then what will happen? Let's say you're living for 100 years. Here you have to multiply by 360, 365, correct? So 365 and 100 is 365,000 years, approximately, let's assume. So 365,000 plus 5,000, which is completed here, about 370,000, something like that. I mean, I'm telling, if you live for full quota, if you don't live for full quota there, let's say you live only for 70 celestial years, then accordingly it comes down to 290,000 years or something like that. So average you keep about 3 lakh years. So 3 lakh earthly years has crossed by the time you finished your Surgaloka lifespan or higher planet system lifespan. At that time, what will be the life at the earthly planet? is the mission of Gaura Mahaprabhu would have been completed. The mercy through the holy name would have been withdrawn. There will not be any more Archa Vigraha. And Kali Yuga will be in the highest state of Ugra. Very severe, intense state of Kali Yuga, because we will be in the third quadrant or in the fourth quadrant. Now, Guru Maharaj explained what is the life in the third or fourth quadrant in the earthly plane. He tells very long details, and then he cried actually. He cried that the situation in the earthly plane will be very gory, very painful. But if you do not practice that seriousness in the Swargaloka planet, instead of going up, like Janaloka or whatever it may be, you may fall down back to Earth planet. Now, when one falls down to the Earth planet, he is falling into the third or the fourth quadrant of Kali Yuga, which is very dangerous. Very painful it is. And Guru Maharaj cried aloud and said, don't even imagine to be born during that time. So, what he said was, don't make any wrong calculations. Don't think, somehow I can do this and escape, somehow I can do that escape. Don't do all those things. Don't take a chance. He said, finish your journey, your spiritual journey in this very life. Don't even imagine to come back. So, you see how the vision of Acharya is. How clarity he has got all the time. Service to Krishna, service to Vaishnavas. Always God conscious. We read in the second chapter last Sunday, Arjuna is asking, what are the qualities of a Mahatma, a devotee, a God-realized person? We read that, and then he's asking 4 questions. And Krishna is answering. You can see exalted devotees, be it Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, be it Kadambaka Maharaj, or anyone, so many exalted devotees. Take those good examples, don't take bad examples. And see, they are very clearly realized, hey, I know this. I will not do anything out like this. We should follow them. They are our Mahajanas. Here, why I'm calling them as Mahajanas? Because they are our living example. Yes, Bhishmadev, Yamaraj, they all came, and then their lifetimes is recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam. We are hearing it. But we have living examples in front of our eyes. We should follow them in perfect order. So here Prabhupada is telling the same thing. Don't do all these things. I am this, I am that, I want to do that. No, don't even take a chance. You don't know when you're going to die. So go on perfecting and uplifting yourself in every moment of your life. That's what Prabhupada is requesting here. Make sense?
Prabhu, they all will go back to Goloka or wherever Prabhupada is there, they will go back. What about us, Prabhu? If we put in an effort, will we also go back?
So Prabhupada said in his lecture that whoever comes into this parampara, whoever is called Prabhupada Anugas, they, through his mercy, they will go to the same place where Prabhupada is. Okay. So in his lecture, he tells that don't commit offenses. Don't make devotional, spiritual mistakes or spiritual suicides. If you make those things, then your guru has to be born again to take you back. So what has happened? When Guru accepted you as a disciple, when he gave your name, when he taught you the Harinam, when he gave the chanting beads, and when he did a Satya Praman in front of the Yajna. that yes, I've accepted him as a disciple, he's accepted me as his father. The Guru is destined to take his disciple back home. So if the disciple is not getting ready, the Guru will be born again and again to take the disciple back home, because that's a promise he gave to Krishna. So your Guru Maharaj will come and take you back to the destination where he's serving.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
In the Golok also, if you remember the things that you wrote in your examination, what is the role of a guru? You're saying, my role of my guru is he does all these things in this life. But once we complete this life and go back home, even there also we serve the Lord under the direction of the Guru. That's one this thing would have written. If you don't remember, you can recollect it. So that's the point here.
Prabhu, I have a doubt, Prabhu. Prabhu, for initiated devotees, Guru Maharaj will take care, but what about devotees who have taken the shelter of Guru but not yet initiated? And could not be initiated throughout their life. So what is the fate of that kind of devotees, Prabhu?
See, there are a lot of theories I've heard with Bhanuswami Maharaj speaking about this. So Bhanuswami Maharaj tells every devotee has 3 gurus in his life. Okay? That's what he says. And they're all equal, he says. Okay, so who are the 3 people? The first is the spiritual master, the Diksha Guru, who gave you Diksha and then took you into the Parampara. Okay, he is a bona fide Guru. Second, the temple president. Okay, temple president here refers to a personality who is making a particular devotee connect to the local institution and giving him an infrastructure, framework, opportunity to serve the deities in whatever capacity it may be. Okay, so that is called as a temple president. It can be a single man or it can be a council. Okay, so they are also called as Guru. And there's no difference from a spiritual Guru. Third, he says a Shiksha Guru. Who's a Shiksha Guru? Shiksha Guru is the one who was instrumental in bringing you to Krishna consciousness. Okay, it could be even an ordinary devotee who sold books to you. You bought that book, got inspired, and came to Krishna consciousness and serving. Or your Bhakti leader who took care to teach you things like that. Right? So ultimately, this Shiksha Guru refers to a person who is carrying you on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Now, all 3 have like a tripod, a triangle or a tripod stand. A tripod stand has 3 legs. If you take away one leg, the stand falls. So all 3 legs it stands. So all 3 have played the role in helping that devotee to practice spiritual life. Now, in the current scenario, why all of them are equal? According to Bhanu Maharaj's description from Sandarbhas, he says, the spiritual master, he gave Diksha, but to give a Diksha, he depended on the sadhana and the reports and practices monitored by the Shiksha Guru and authoritated by the temple president. So the spiritual master signed, yes, okay, approved. Then after giving Diksha, the spiritual master hands over the responsibility to the temple president and the Shiksha Guru. You continue to take care of my disciples. He goes away. Because Guru Maharaj is not seen anymore. He gives classes in Facebook and other things, but on a a general basis, but not on a hand-holding basis. Okay. Then who's the guru who's taking care of the disciple on day-to-day basis? It's a combination of the temple president and the Siksha Guru. Now, the temple president, he gives the facility, he gives the direction, he gives the guidance. Hey, how this entire congregation has to go. He's allocating people. Hey, you take the responsibility, you take the responsibility, you take care of this devotee. For example, we have devotee care system, we have Bhakti Riksha system, we have Namata system. Now we are coming up to the other care systems. So the temple president is instituting these things and helping the devotees to be cared and progress in devotion life. Conducting festivals, serving prasadam, everywhere he's playing a role. Of course, the devotees are serving, but he's taking the accountability here. So hence, he has a role. In a year of 365 days, okay, I'll come to that point. The third is your Siksha Guru. The Siksha Guru is mentoring you, hand-holding on a day-to-day basis. So all of them have a role in a devotee to climb up the spiritual ladder. Right? But on a sentimental basis, right? We don't accept a temple president or a Siksha Guru as a spiritual father. We accept only the Diksha Guru as a spiritual father. Hence, the devotees, from a sentimental basis, they give extra weightage or most weightage to the words and the instruction of the spiritual master than others. So how is it true? For example, let's say Gopal Krishna Maharaj tells his disciple who's serving in ICC temple, hey, I want you to go and serve in a temple in Guntur. He will not worry about what the temple president or Siksha Guru says. Immediately he'll leave and go to Guntur and serve. Okay, so that's the prominence that Diksha Guru plays in the role of the devotee. But that's how the structure has evolved. However, Bhanumaraj says the deliverance of a person is contributed by these three personalities in one's life. Okay, so now first understanding this is very important. Now coming to that inner point. Someone took aspiration, someone took this, but they're not able to take initiation. So now what happens to them? So the Shastra in one direction tells the holy name can deliver a person. Okay, the holy name can deliver a person. Now, there are few devotees, even in ISKCON today, who are not initiated, but they follow all the principles spoken by Srila Prabhupada. They worship Srila Prabhupada every day. They follow the regulative principles. They chant their 16 rounds. Every day they do Shravanam and Kirtan. They follow it very strict to their heart. There are many devotees like that. In fact, next Sunday, you want to see a devotee in our temple. The Sunday Bhagavatam class is going to give. He's come from Canada. Is Dr. Sairam. Okay. I'll tell you about his consciousness. A few months back, his wife died. She died in the morning, 10:30, she left her body. He is 70 years or something, 70 or something like that. He is 70 maybe. She died in the morning, 10 o'clock, and evening 4 o'clock, Bhagavatam class, he was on the altar. Not on the altar, on the Vyasasana. He's giving Bhagavatam class. Can you believe this? Look at his consciousness. Completely undisturbed. You should ask him, Prabhuji, your wife has just died in the morning. You went, took bath, and you did your purification immediately, you are on the altar. So are you not disturbed? Said, yeah, that Jiva finished her life. She's on to her journey. Krishna will decide her journey. Now I have my journey. I have to go do that. So I'm at it. That's the consciousness. He donates. He worships Prabhupada and is not initiated. So, you see, when our Bhanuswami tells the holy name can deliver, classical examples you have like this. To practice spirituality with great love, with great seriousness. That's important.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us a positive hope.
Why? You're on the path for initiation. No? Why are you worried? Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
And one more thing, just because initiation, it doesn't guarantee you liberation. Let me make it very clear to all of you. Just because one is initiated, liberation is not guaranteed. Please take that also into the picture. Why? There are many devotees who are liberated, but don't have respect for any other devotee, continue to commit mistakes, be offensive, find fault, blaspheme, and don't do association, don't do serving. They do all this nonsense. People, just not to become offensive, they don't ask anything, questions to them. They just live silently. Because philosophy is taught to them. If they don't follow, it's their choice. We can't hold one's collar and say, hey, you're supposed to associate, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. No, we can't do that. Krishna gave the free will to the jiva. So that free will must be given at all points in time. That's the realization. The jiva has to realize. If the jiva misbehaves, who can do what? Nothing can be done. So, in this context, if you see, that devotees will have to realize the responsibility and practice. Krishna can give the facility to practice, but what else he can do? So, there are many devotees who take up initiation. They are into the illusion that, okay, I got initiated, Guru Maharaj will come and take me back home. And they'll miss their practices. They give excuses. They don't properly, be a team player, gel. So many issues are there like that today devotees do. Well, what happens? Who's the loser?
We are the losers, Prabhu.
Yeah. My mother can make nice food and offer it on the table. If I don't eat it, who's the loser? Is my mother loser? No. She will finish her meal and go off. So that's the point here. If we understand this, then we will see how bonded. We'll give maximum importance to relationship. What did Mahaprabhu say? What did Srila Prabhupada say? What did Nityananda Prabhu say? They gave greatest importance to relationship among devotees. They gave greatest importance to association of devotees. They said association is the lifeline. So, you have categories of people who initiate and be careless. More worse than this, you have many devotees who are Brahminical initiated and they commit offenses like anything. They concoct their own theories. They commit so many offenses. So what do you say for this? Now, since they are devotees, Krishna will have a plan for them. But whether that plan is going to be now or let's say after 100 births, everything Krishna will decide. We don't have a say in it. We can only educate. So that's how the path gets defined. Does it help, Mataji? Rameshwar Mataji, you there?
Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu. Yes, I went. Prabhu,
Huh.
just last 2-3 minutes I missed, Prabhu.
No, I'm saying the devotees must understand responsibility, understand the rules and regulation, and then practice.
Prabhu, what I feel is what seriousness we had before initiation. We continue the same consciousness and mood, even after initiation. That will be helpful.
Now, after initiation, what happens? See, you are coming under the shelter of a pure devotee. Okay. Who are spiritual master aspiring, his first quality is he's disciple of Srila Prabhupada. That itself is a great quality. Second, he is practicing devotion service with the highest purity. So that purity and that spiritual vibration will definitely push you to go to greater heights and greater heights. You will be able to transcend many material illusions much, much smarter and faster. Very easily, just the mercy that will act on. Otherwise, mercy will take time to act on. That's the power of taking Guru shelter.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so let's move forward. You must have heard, no? For example, you must have heard messages, right? Prabhu, my uncle, blood is coming. He's in hospital. Is that? Please stand for him. Please do this. Do this. So many messages come. What can be done? I mean, these are examples of crying over the spilt milk. Do you know what a spilt milk means?
Spoiled milk.
No. Let's say you have a milk in a cup to drink. It slipped off your hand and fell down.
Okay, okay.
Whatever you do, can you drink that milk?
No.
So that's the point. In good times, how much ever you hit your head and then tell them, they won't listen. And suddenly they'll come and, oh, please help, please help, please help. All you need is a small fear shaken. That's it. Today afternoon, we just came for lunch around 3:30. Then I was just sitting because it was a very tired day today. Just sitting, and I had started to prepare some documents. Suddenly my son came and showed me. He's a football fan, my son. Showed me, Dad, see this video. This Messi is there, no one guy, the football player, Messi. See his lifestyle, he showed me a video. In that video, it's so funny that Messi buys very, very expensive cars. Very expensive cars, like millions of dollars. They're all custom made. I didn't know such things existed. And he says, why? Because I think his father or someone, they died in an accident. And according to astrological calculation, that he may also have an impact. He's also accident prone, something like that. So that fear for him, he's earning a lot and he's spending a lot of money in the safety and security aspect of the car. I'm just laughing at it. Just imagine what people are doing. Huh?
Prabhu, Ma ke Krishna, Rake Krishna, Ma ke Prabhu.
See, take the right shelter, except that everyone wanted everything else. So crying the last minute, and of course we also say Hare Krishna, but what's reality? Okay. So that's the fact. Huh? Okay, let's look at 427. Someone read.
Look at 27. Shoka harsha bhaya dvesha lobha moha madanvitaha mito gantam na pashyanti bhavair bhavam prutak prushaha. Persons with the vision of differentiation are imbued with the material qualities lamination, jubilation, fear, envy, greed, illusion, and madness. They are influenced by the immediate cause which they are busy counteracting because they have no knowledge of the remote supreme cause, the personality of Godhead. Purport. Krishna is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karanam. But one who has no connection with Krishna is disturbed by immediate causes and
Cannot restrain his vision
of separation of differences. When an expert physician treats a patient, he tries to find the original cause of the disease and is not diverted by the symptoms of that original cause. Similarly, a devotee is never disturbed by reverses in life. Tat nukampam sushmakate sushmakam samsataha. Bhagavatam 10.14.8. A devotee understands that when he is in distress, This is due to his own past misdeeds, which are now occurring reactions. Although by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, these are only very slight karmani niddahiti kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Brahma Samhita 5.54. When a devotee under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to suffer because of faults in his past deeds, he passes through only a little misery by the grace of the Lord. Although the disease of a devotee is due to mistakes committed sometime in the past, he agrees to suffer and tolerate such miseries, and he depends fully on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he is never affected by material conditions of lamentations, jubilation,
Lamentation.
jubilation, fear, and so on. A devotee never sees anything to be unconnected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Madhvacharya, quoting from the Bhavishya Purana, says,
Bhagavad Darshanadasya.
Darshanadasya virodata darshanam prutak. Prutagrushtihi sa vigneyo natu sadveda darshanaha. Hare Krishna.
So this is the same what we discussed, right? Do you have any questions on this? So never see things in a paradoxical manner. What is paradoxical manner? Okay, high, low, differencing. Is a good devotee, bad devotee. He is a superior devotee, is inferior devotee. He's a loving devotee, is a harsh devotee. Never see all those things. Always keep your mind open at any point in time.
Prabhu, I have this doubt, Prabhu.
Uh-huh.
Although the disease of a devotee is due to the mistake, he has understood that it is because of his past karma, and he is ready to suffer also, Prabhu. But that suffering 100%, like for in case of me, like I'm always this is something or the other. I'm not ready, able to take it also. I'm not ready to take it also, no, Prabhu. But here confirmed it, Prabhupada says he agrees to suffer and tolerate such miseries.
So what does this mean? See, generally materialists, what they do is, let's say there's a loss. You're talking about a health loss, a financial loss, a family loss, this loss, that loss. There's so many losses. Now, what does he do is, if there is a loss, he immediately laments a lot. Okay? He keeps whining about it, keeps talking about the loss to this, that. Somehow, I don't know why this happened to me. I'm a good guy. I'm this, I'm best. I'm the supreme most, but this has happened to me. He keeps on lamenting. Okay. Second, what does he do? He tries to recover that loss in some manner or the other. He cannot accept that loss. Third, he tries to counteract that loss through some practices. Either it could be tantric, or it could be mantric, or it could be whatever it may be. This is all materialist things. A realized person on the spiritual plane, what does he think? He first attributes the cause of his suffering is himself. He doesn't blame it on others, unlike a materialist. Okay? He doesn't say, oh Lord, every day I did puja to you. Why you gave me leg pain? He never even says that once. Okay? He only concludes that, why am I suffering? Is clearly an action or a reaction out of my past deeds. That's the first symptom of devotion.
Okay, Prabhu.
Second, what does he do? Okay, I'm paying for my mistake, but I don't want to pay for any more mistakes in the future. So he tolerates his sufferings and continues to tread the right path in spiritual life. This is what a devotee will do.
Correct, Prabhu.
That's what Prabhupada is explaining here.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
There's
Krishna.
no lamentation. What lamentation is? Ayo nange hingayitu. Ayo nange hangayitu. Oh nange olayitu. Oh olayitu. So this is what is lamentation. They never do this.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay. 4.28.
Hare Krishna. Text 28. Shri Shuka Uvacha Kamsa Evam Prasannabhyam Vishuddham Pratibhashitaha Devaki Vasudevabhyam
Deva.
Vasudeva
Vasudevabhyam.
Vasudevabhyam
Vasudevabhyam.
Vasudevabhyam Anugnato Vishadgraham. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami continued, thus having been addressed in purity by Devaki and Vasudeva, who were very much appeased, Kamsa felt pleased, and with their permission, he entered his home. Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
Okay, so he thought he won the battle. He thought, okay, though I did so much of nonsense, they are not cursing me or they are not feeling disturbed. That means nothing will happen to me. Self-consoling. This is what cheaters do. Okay, now let's see what's going to happen. 4.9. Is really Kamsa transformed? We will see that now. 4.29. Tashyam ratriyam vyatitayam Kamsa ahuya mantrinaha Tebya akasta tatsarvam yaduktam yoga nidraya. Translation. After that night passed, Kamsa summoned his ministers. Immediately he called his ministers and informed them all that had been spoken by Yogamaya, who had revealed that he who was to slay Kamsa had already been born somewhere else. Purport. The Vedic scripture Chandi describes Maya. That's what people do, Chandi Homa. The energy of the Supreme Lord as Nidra, Durga Devi, Sarvabhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samastitaha. The energy of Yoga Maya and Mahamaya keeps the living entity sleeping in this material world in the great darkness of ignorance. Yoga Maya, the goddess Durga, kept Kamsa in darkness about Krishna's birth and misled him to believe that his enemy Krishna had been born elsewhere. Krishna was born, the son of Devaki, but according to Lord's original plan, as prophesied to Brahma, he went to Vrindavan to give pleasure to Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj and other intimate friends and devotees for 11 years. Then he would return to kill Kamsa. Because Kamsa did not know this, he believed Yogamaya's statement that Krishna was born elsewhere, not of Devaki. Okay? So now look at Lord's plan. Paritranaya sadhunam. So that sadhunam is very important for Krishna. His devotees are very dear. They've been waiting for ages and ages, births and births and births. So Krishna wants to fulfill that desire. So he said, hey, killing Kamsa is like hitting a wasp, one shot and throwing it away. That doesn't matter to me. My devotees are waiting. So he decided to give pleasure to them. So he went and immediately he gave all rasas to his lovers, to his friends, to his parents, to his servants, to all the animals, everyone. Krishna nurtured them, gave them the nectar for 11 and a half years in Vrindavan. Then, once he fully satisfied them, yes, there's enough. You got your full quota. Okay? Krishna left Vrindavan back to his mission. That's what you have to understand. Right? So, remember for Damodar month also we recited this sloka. Right? So when Krishna went to Vrindavan, what happened? Aho bhagyam. Nanda Gopa Prajaukasham. Yan Mitran Paramanandam. He said, Yan Mitran Paramanandam. So my friend, who's my friend? He's always in the state of bliss, joyfulness and happiness. He says, my friend, that's my friend. That's all the nature of my friend is. Here, friend refers to not just to the Gopakumaras, to all, everyone in the world. They are also his friends, they are also his disciples. So, Krishna went to give them that pleasure. And while giving that pleasure, so many devotees got liberated. So many Matajis, Prabhujis, they all got liberated. Right? So he finished that mission. Then he came back to do the second part. Vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samstapanarthaya. He came to do this part. So that's when first he began with Kamsa. He didn't even take many hours or days or something like that, negotiate, do this war, nothing with Kamsa. Came in a matter of few hours, killed him. And he moved on. Then he said, yes, there are big adharmic activities that are going on that needs to be strengthened. So he went. He saw all the Kshatriyas are becoming unruly. They're decrying the Brahmanas. No one wants to listen to the Brahmanas. Varnashrama institution completely devastated. All exploited. He saw this is fallen. The head is fallen. What is the use of the shoulder and the stomach? So he said, it's better to straighten it. So he ensured that entire Kshatriya community is vanquished. So he used his friends, the Pancha Pandavas. He used them to completely clean up the system. The Dharma Samstapanartha is established. Then Krishna said, okay, my Leela is over. I've established Dharma. Now let's see how long you guys can go on peacefully. And Krishna left the world. So the nature of Kali Yuga is what? Is always to deteriorate. So once Krishna left, again deteriorated started. People did not take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you see there were enough fights among men. Kali started to become strong. World wars, this wars, that. Every time there is war and killing and exploitation. See, in the Middle East, all the Greeks, they were going war after war. Everywhere. There's no place. So, that's the nature of this world. Human beings, they keep killing each other for their pleasure. So again, Krishna will come. So that's the point here. Okay, so let's move on. Let's read 430.
430. Akarnya bhartur gaditam tam uchurdeva shatravaha devan pratikritam risha daiteyanati kovidaha. Translation. After hearing their master statements, the envious Asuras, who were enemies of demigods and were not very expert in their dealings, advised Kamsa as follows. There are two different men, the Asuras and the Suras. Va bhuta sargo loke asmin daiva asura eva cha Vishnu bhakta smruto daiva asurastad viparyaha Padma Purana. Those who are devotees of Lord Vishnu, Krishna, are Suras or Devas, whereas those who are opposed to devotees are called Asuras. Devotees are expert in all transaction. Yasyati bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunas tatra samaste suraha. Therefore, they are called Kovida, which means expert. Asuras, however, although superficially showing expertise in passionate activities, are actually all fools. They are neither sober nor expert. Whatever they do is imperfect. Moghasha mogam karmanaha. According to this description of Asuras given in Bhagavad Gita 9.12, whatever they do will ultimately be baffled. Whatever they do will ultimately be baffled. It was such persons who advised Kamsa because they were his chiefs, friends and ministers. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. So what's in it here? Take away for us.
Expertise is not there, even though they are not experts, but they stood up to give advice to Kamsa. That too, it will be a wrong advice, whereby his master will suffer. So that is, so while describing, Prabhupada has told what's the difference between Suras and Asuras. Suras are very expert in their transaction, but Asuras are not. but still they get up to advice, and because of that they will suffer. That is what, and in this context, Kamsa will suffer taking their advice.
So let me ask you a question. If someone is not an expert, then why is he advising Kamsa?
Because they think they are experts. That is where their advice.
Think broadly. If he is not an expert, why is he advising Kamsa? One more dimension. The quality of enviousness, hatred, fear, I can get it through Kamsa. That means it is not just Kamsa has got hatred to Krishna. All these asuras also have hatred to Vishnu. So hence they are thinking, oh, he is more powerful. We'll use him, we'll instigate him and get our mission fulfilled.
That's another dimension.
That's why Prabhupada is saying, even though he's not an expert, then I'm not an expert. How can I advise? I'll keep quiet. That consciousness is not coming. So actually, this recollects me of the creation. Okay. So let's go and spend 2 minutes on how creation happened. Okay. So when the casual ocean, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying down, and then now he sees that all the living entities are in the Garbha of that Vishnu. Okay. So he first glances at them, who are in his own womb, in his Garbha. Okay. While he's glancing, he's searching. Is there any one living entity who has all the qualities to take up the position of a creator? Lord is scanning and searching his Garbha only. At the time, let's say he finds one. Okay, maybe he can become Brahmaji. So when he glances like that, what happens? That Brahmaji position of a jiva is identified. That particular jiva is made to sprout out of the lotus which comes out of the stomach of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay. Now Brahmaji came. This jiva came out and then he's saying, oh, he saw left side, he saw right side, he saw straight, he saw back side. Because he saw these 4 directions, 4 heads came for him. He's stunned. Hey, how come I was born with 1 head? Suddenly I saw 4 sides, I got 4 heads. Then he's looking around. Everything looks dark. There's nothing here. I'm just sitting on one lotus. Maybe I'll search. What is this place? Where am I from? Who am I? I'll search. He searches around that lotus. Then he goes to the center of the lotus and he sees a tube that is going, the stem of the lotus. Then he walks for such a long time. He sees that that stem is not having an end at all. There's no starting point or ending point, nothing. Then he's worried and then he again comes back. Comes back and sits on the center, that portion of that lotus stem. And he sits and is thinking, what am I supposed to do now? Now, at that time, Garbhodaksha Vishnu never revealed to him who is Vishnu, who is Lord. Nothing he revealed to him. He just spoke in his heart to meditate. When Brahmaji starts to meditate, he meditated for 100 celestial years. He meditated. After meditation, Krishna saw his mood of surrender. Krishna saw the mood of surrender in Brahmaji. At that time, Krishna reveals in his meditative posture the form of himself to Brahmaji. When Brahma saw that in his meditative posture, when Brahmaji is meditating on the Lord, actually he recites the Gayatri Mantra, recites on the Lord. He experiences the Lord, then he opens his eyes. Actually, that picture is also there, must be there in Srimad Bhagavatam book. You will see that from the top of the lotus, he will lean down and he will see huge, beautiful form of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Brahmaji will see that. He'll see that form of Lord with wonderful eyes, with wonderful features, wonderful colors. He'll see that whatever ignorance he had, whatever ill knowledge he had, completely gets vanquished the moment he sees the vision. Now, why I'm talking about this particular point is very important. Until Brahmaji meditated with sincerity, the Lord did not reveal. When Lord saw Brahmaji's reaction when he revealed himself in his heart, then only Lord revealed him in person to him. So, look at it. The Lord is searching through who's the best Jivatma who can take the position of Brahmaji. And after that also, Lord is ensuring that whether there is purity in his consciousness. Only then the Lord is revealing him. So, you have to understand that all of us have this Asura mentality. It is by the mercy of the Lord. It is by the meditative nature of us on the Lord. It is by practice of reciting the slokas and all these things on the Lord. Is when we get rid of this Asura quality. Rather than, using this Asura quality in some manner or other and then try to conquer. No, that path is never taken. But look at this Asura, right? He just now fell at the feet of Devaki, pleaded, it's act of providence, it's arrangement like this, I didn't do it, it is his arrangement that he used me as an instrument, he did everything he said. He also showed compassionate, no problem, get out. Moment he came out, that night itself, look at his plan. And look at his association of ministers. So, you see how the Lord knows us about our consciousness, our state of mind. Are we having a cheating propensity or a surrender propensity? The Lord knows it. Hare Krishna. Any thoughts, questions? But today, all of you are silent. No dynamics at all.
Prabhu, the Supreme Personality Godhead is in ourselves as Paramatma. So we should know that even if we try to tell something incorrect, we are cheating. No, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I mean, that understanding people will come, they will not do wrong things.
Yeah, but the understanding doesn't come, no. First of all, the understanding can come only if you accept Lord in whatever capacity it is or he is. Krishna never spoke Arjuna until Arjuna said, okay, Krishna, I'm confused. I don't know what I want to do. Accept me as a disciple and teach me what should I do. Until then he said, hey, Arjuna, you have your own free will to think, to do, to act, do whatever you want. He was next to him only. He made him to get bewildered. Read those verses. Arjuna's voice is trembling. It is choking. His lips are shattering. He doesn't know how to kill his own guru. He doesn't know how to kill his own grandfather for the sake of position. Arjuna made him to bewilder. That's the most important thing. Okay, so we'll move forward. 31. Let's read 31.
Hare Krishna Baru, shall I read through?
31.
31. Evam siddharhi bhojentra puragrama prajadeshu anidrashan nirdashamscha anishyamo adhyavai sisun Translation. If this is so, O king of Brajadya dynasty, beginning today we shall kill all the children born in all the villages, towns, and pasturing grounds within the past 10 days or slightly more. Hare Krishna.
Look at the level of crime. Innocent children. Kill them. To save his own life. Okay.
Yes.
Anything you want to tell Prabhu? Shanta Prabhu.
No, this is a mentality, Prabhu, yes.
Okay, let's do 32 then.
Hare Krishna. Text 32.
Hmm.
Kimudyamayi karshyanti devaha samara viravah nityam udvigna manaso jvagoshaytanu shastava. Translation. The demigods always fear the sound of your bowstring. They are constantly in anxiety, afraid of fighting. Therefore, what can they do by their endeavors to harm you?
So, what is the context here?
Means if we have that means if we are doing something wrong, then we'll have such type of fear.
No. So, see, what is the context here? What's happening there? See, now the ministers are advising Kamsa. Now Kamsa is saying, okay, let's go kill all the children. Now they're telling Kamsa, hey, you know what? Who are you? You're such a powerful guy.
Yes, they are boosting Kamsa actually.
So, don't worry, will someone come in your way and then stop you or harm you? Nothing. So they're just, that's what they're doing. You understood the context?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, 33. Yes.
Hare Krishna. 4.33. Asya taste charavrathiranyamana samantadaha jiji vishava utsrujya palayana parayayuhu. Translation. While being pierced by your arrows, which you discharged on all sides, some of them who were injured by the multitude of arrows, but who desired to live. Desired to live, fled the battlefield intent on escaping. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, more glories. 34.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 34. Kechit pranjalayo dhina nyasta shastra divaukasaha mukta kacha shikhaha kechid bhetahasma iti vadinaha. Translation. Defeated and bereft of all weapons, some of the demigods gave up fighting and praised you with folded hands, and some of them, appearing before you with loosened garments and hair, said, "O Lord, we are very much afraid of you." Hare Krishna.
Okay, so why they're saying this? Because they are saying that demigods won't come even in your way to stop whatever you want to do. Okay, 35. Natvam Vishmrita Shastras. Revol? Who's going to read next?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Please read.
Natvam Visruta Shastra Astan Viratan Vaya Samvrutan Hamsi Anya Asakta Vimukkan Bhagna Chapan Ayudhyataha. Translation. When the demigods are bereft of their chariots, when they forget how to use weapons, when they are fearful or attached to something other than fighting, or when their bows are broken and they have thus lost the ability to fight, your majesty does not kill them.
Purport.
Perfect.
There are principles that govern even fighting. If an enemy has no chariot, he is unmindful of the fighting, or because of fear, or is unwilling to fight. He is not to be killed. Kamsa's ministers reminded Kamsa that despite his power, he was cognizant of the principles of fighting, and therefore he had excused the demigods because of their incapability. But the present emergency, the minister said, is not intended for such mercy or military etiquette. Now you should prepare to fight under any circumstances. Thus, they advised Kamsa to give up the traditional etiquette in fighting and chastise the enemy at any cost. Hare Krishna.
Now look at the advice. Look at the association Kamsa has. If Kamsa had one proper devotee or Brahmana in his kingdom, Kamsa's life would have been saved. But he's got all ill-minded fellows.
But Akrura was there, no, Prabhu?
Yeah, but Akrura was not in the ministry, no?
What was his position, Prabhu, Akrura?
I don't know, maybe I don't know what position he had. It just said Akrura was a servant serving in the ministry of Kamsa, but it doesn't give details about his position. I've not read in Bhagavatam. Maybe it is explained somewhere else that people know.
Yes.
That's why when Kamsa called Akrura and said, hey, you know what? Go and bring Krishna. Akrura heard Kamsa talking about how to kill Krishna. So that means Akrura had no say. If Akrura had a say, Kamsa would have become a devotee.
Just like Vidura.
Yeah, just like Vidura. Yeah, see. But at least Vidura a little bit opposed. Akrura didn't even oppose. Very important. See how lineage of devotees are. Let's take Srimad Bhagavatam. How Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Brahmaji. Brahmaji spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. Narada Muni spoke Bhagavatam to Vyasdev. Vyasdev wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, which was recited by Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami spoke to Bhagavatam to Parikshit and Sutta Goswami. And Sutta Goswami recited that Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimisharan. Look at how Bhagavatam comes. In all these steps, you see, the mentality of the preacher is welfare. And the mentality of the listener is also submissive. Right? Another parallel path of Bhagavatam. Right? Krishna expanded Shankarshana. Shankarshana spoke Bhagavatam to the four Kumaras. The four Kumaras, in the four Kumaras, Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara spoke Bhagavatam to Parjanya Rishi. Parjanya Rishi spoke Bhagavatam to Srimad Bhagavatam to Parasara Muni. Parasara Muni spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Maitreya Rishi. And when Vidura comes in search of God consciousness, he is directed by Uddhava to go read Maitreya Rishi, and Maitreya Rishi speaks Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is what Vyasadeva records. Now, look at it. Look at Guru-Sishya relationship. Look at where the God has played the role. And look at how submissive people are to take good advice and to recite and then do it. See, this is wonderful. This is God consciousness. And look at that love when Naimisharanya Rishis, they're asking Sutta Goswami, tell me one thing that can cause the greatest welfare. Welfare. That's the word he uses. For all the living entities, Sutta Goswami recites Srimad Bhagavatam. He says there's no other go. So you see, the Lord took personal interest for the welfare of everyone, be it Asuras or Suras or whoever it may be, and gave this knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam from him directly, through Shankarshana, to his disciple, everywhere. Why through Shankarshana he gave? The Guru Tattva has to come. So look at the arrangement of the Lord and look at the arrangement of ill-minded living entities. So contrasting. So we have to get rid of ill-mindedness in our heart. and take association and shelter of Lord and his high quality devotees. That's the first realization we should have.
Prabhu, could you repeat that again, Prabhu? Krishna spoke to Sankarsana and he spoke to
Sankarsana spoke to the 4 Kumaras.
And then Sanat Kumara?
And out of the 4 Kumaras, the Sanat Kumara, he spoke to Parjanya Rishi. Parjanya Rishi spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Parasara Muni. Parasara Muni spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Maitreya Rishi.
Okay.
And it is that Vidura, when he meets Maitreya Rishi is explaining Srimad Bhagavatam to Vidura. And that conversation is what? Recorded by Vyasadeva. And that's what is spoken by Sukadeva. Look at the way it is brilliantly connected.
So, Prabhu, Maitreya Rishi also was available in this 9 Saran, right, Prabhu?
No, Badrikasrama.
Badrikas, okay, yeah.
Oh, you're asking where he recited like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when Vidura went to him, he could have just denied her. He could have told wrong things. No, look at the consciousness of Maitreya Rishi. So much devoted to Krishna, so pure, that he spoke Srimad Bhagavatam with keeping Krishna as the center. No one as the center, Krishna as the center. He delivered Bhagavatam. And that's what we are now making our entire life on. Correct? So now compare that with the ministers of Kamsa, what they're speaking. In fact, they're telling Krishna is also another demigod. And that's why he says, oh, demigods are like this. Krishna will also do like that. He is also a demigod. Go kill him. And he's saying, they're telling him, don't even show mercy, because in the earlier days, you have shown mercy, because when someone has lost their weapons and surrendered to him, he said, okay, let go, you gave like that. But this time, don't. Chop the head, kill them. Like that, giving advice. Look at this. This is also conversation. This is also explanation. But look at this. This is material life and that's spiritual life. You can see the huge difference between them. Okay. Okay, now let's read, it is 7:22. We'll read another 2-3 slokas and we'll end.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'll read, Prabhu.
Yes, no,
text 4.36. Kim Kshema Shurai Vibudai Asamyuga Vikattanai Raho Jusha Kim Harina Sambonava Vinaukasha.
Vanaukasha.
Sorry, Prabhu. Vanaukusha Kim Indrenalpa Viryena Brahmanava Tapasyata. Translation. The demigods boast uselessly while away from the battlefield. Only where there is no fighting can they show their prowess. Therefore, from such demigods, we have nothing to fear. As for Lord Vishnu, he is in seclusion in the core of the hearts of the yogis. As for Lord Shiva, he has gone to the forest. And as for Lord Brahma, he is always engaged in austerities and meditation. The other demigods, headed by Indra, are devoid of prowess. Therefore, you have nothing to fear. Kamsa's ministers told Kamsa that all the exalted demigods had fled in fear of him. One had gone to the forest, one to the core of the heart, and one to engage in tapasya. Thus you can be free from all fear of the demigods. They said, just prepare to fight. Hare Krishna.
For what cause? Huh?
We are wrongly interpreting the things.
Yeah. So now this is how, in material life also, when we have wrong friends, they'll make us to commit misdeeds by giving wrong advice they'll give. And if our head is not straight, we'll fall for it. Okay, last sloka for the day. Who wants to read?
I'll read, Prabhu. Text 37. Tatapi devahas sapatnyan nopeksha iti manmahe tatastan mulakanane niyunkshavasman anuvrutan. Translation when purported by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Nonetheless, because of their enmity, Our opinion is that the demigods should not be neglected. Therefore, to uproot them completely, engage us in fighting with them, for we are ready to follow you. According to moral instructions, one should not neglect to extinguish fire completely, treat diseases completely, and clear debts completely. Otherwise, they will increase and later be difficult to stop. Therefore, the minister's advice comes to uproot his enemies completely. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, 38, last look, right?
Hare Krishna.
It's 38.
Text 4.4.
Mataji is reading. Let her read. I'll read
Yes,
the-
Mataji, continue.
Okay, thanks, Mataji. Yatamayonge samupekshito nribir shakyate ruda padas chikitsitum yatendriya grama upekshitastata ripur mahan baddha balo na chalyate. As a disease, if initially neglected, becomes acute and impossible to cure, or as a census, if not controlled at first, or impossible to control later. An enemy, if neglected in the beginning, later becomes insurmountable.
Insurmountable. Yeah. So this is also true in general in the material life. That Prabhupada always says, oh, disease, don't think it's a small, no, it doesn't matter, we'll just leave it, it'll become okay. But internally, it can continue to grow and then cause damage. Okay. So like that, he's telling. Similarly for the senses also. See, if senses, they use the word addiction, no? Let's say someone is playing cards or games or something like that. If you don't stop him playing that gaming, or whatever addiction is, just a matter of time he's going to get addicted. It means it's impossible to control, right? So like that, his senses is saying that don't leave anything like that. Don't become your enemy to become strong and powerful, insurmountable. So these are the kinds of advice given by his ministers. So they're going on trying to tell what is the position of Vishnu. He is not so and so this. He derives power from the Brahmanas. He derives from the Yagyas, the cows, all these things they give advice. So tell him, kill all of them, you'll be all right. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, maybe Krishna also is waiting for these people to behave in this manner so that Krishna can devastate them completely, no, Prabhu?
Oh, Lord is merciful. He's always in equilibrium. He keeps giving chances. He doesn't exploit one's negative nature and then causes, but he keeps giving them turns. Even after all these turns, if someone doesn't change, then finally Krishna takes a step. That's the best example we learned from Shishupal. Krishna knows Shishupal is a bad guy. He's envious. He's a liar. And still he gave him 100 chances. And till the 100 chances, he tolerated him. No problem, I'll tolerate. Then he said, beyond 100, Krishna said, okay, maybe in this birth, in the current setup of your senses and mind, there's no way that you can get cured. Your disease has gone beyond the incurable state. So better you leave this body, take another body, you will get a chance to perfect yourself. So Krishna decides like that, chops his head off. Okay. So Lord is generally not like that. So
He is merciful, we can say.
Yeah, he's always merciful, even to the Suras and Asuras. For example, you and me are Asuras, Mataji. Because he was merciful, we became a little bit okay. Otherwise, we would have been chopped off.
Yes, Prabhu. True, Prabhu.
That is our nature, our position.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, anyway, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. And then we'll continue to associate and meet in the course of the week. Garandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Dandavad pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavad pranam Prabhu. Thank you Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.